We just saw some teams get their new franchise quarterback from this year's draft, but which teams will get their new franchise quarterbacks in next year's draft? Well, that's what brings us to the PFF NFL mock draft for 2025. Yeah, some of, if not all of the best names in college football are on this mock draft. We got Shedeur, we got Travis Hunter, we got not every single player is obviously draft eligible, but a lot of the studs in college football are eligible for next year's draft. And for some reason, not for some reason, the Panthers could very much well be awful yet again. But this year, they will have their first round pick. So now that they're picking first overall with their pick, I think I'm going to give them, they could go with a James Pierce. They could go with the Mason Graham. But I think they need to get Bryce Young. They make sure Bryce Young is stable and alive because they think they found their new franchise quarterback. And they may have, who knows. But he's going to need to stay alive, and I'm going to give them Will Campbell with the first overall pick. We haven't seen an offensive lineman go first in like decades, so it'd be sick to see Will Campbell from LSU go first overall. And that leaves us with pick number 2, New England Patriots. They have no choice but to go with James Pierce. Now I kind of keep up with college football, but I'm not familiar with James Pierce, so I don't know if I'm just a casual or what, but I'm guessing I'm going to see a lot of him this upcoming season. We're going to see how good he is. And that leaves us with the Broncos at pick number 3. Now, if they're at pick number 3, that probably means that Bo Nix is just not that guy. And do I think that was a bit of a reach? Yes, I think that Bo Nix was a crazy reach. So what better way than to keep Shedeur Sanders, keep him in Denver? So what better way than to keep Shedeur Sanders in Colorado? Give him the keys to the state, man. Give him the keys. Keep him home in Denver, Colorado. That's a W script right there. Now, pick 4. Now, I don't know what these... I think these might be based on Super Bowl odds, if I had to imagine. This mock draft is based on Super Bowl odds, the order. So, pick number 4, we're going to give the Tennessee Titans some... they do have Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons is not getting any younger. But do we want to give them Will Johnson at pick 4? Do they pass on Mason Graham for Will Johnson? 2 Michigan Wolverines here. Now, if they're picking high, that also might mean Will Levis isn't the guy, but the quarterbacks are not that good this year. Shedeur going 3 is a stretch, if I'm gonna be honest. It's a bit of a stretch, but 2 defensive players at the top of the board. I'm gonna give the Tennessee Titans a defensive player, but it's not gonna be either one of them. It's going to be Harold Perkins. I don't know how he is that low on the draft board, but my God, this man is a freaking, yes, am I biased? Probably. I'm probably very biased, but they had this man playing slot cornerback last year. He is a linebacker. He is an edge rusher in college. Who knows if he's going to be an edge rusher in the NFL. But this man was playing slot cornerback last year. And that is just not what he does. It's not what he does. Will it make him a better player? Potentially in the NFL. Maybe make him a well-rounded player. But bro, he was playing out of position last year and his draft stock plummeted because of that. I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think he's going to have a way better year. So I'm going to move him up to pick 4 where he belongs. He is a top 5 player in this draft, hands down. So he's going to go number 4. And the Giants are picking 5th overall. And that probably means that they need a quarterback. But yet again, dude, the quarterbacks in this draft are just not good. Like they're not going to reach on another quarterback. Like they reached on Daniel Jones that one year. They're not going to do the same thing and make the same mistake with Carson Beck or something like that. So I just don't see that happening. I just have them going with, best player available, Mason Graham. Now with the Washington Commanders, this could get interesting. Do we give them Travis Hunter? Travis Hunter would be sick. They just drafted Emmanuel Forbes last year. Hopefully he can pan out. In the first round, they drafted him. They just drafted Jaden Daniels, obviously. So they probably don't need a quarterback, but who knows coming this time around. They have Terry McLaurin. They have Jahan Dotson. So I don't think we need to give them a wide receiver. Let's give Jaden Daniels some offensive linemen. Let's give him some help on the offensive line in the trenches. He runs around a lot. So is he going to stay in the pocket? Who knows? It's ideal that he does. So let's get him an offensive lineman to help make sure he's alive, because my God, he's taking some hits in college. Crazy that he's still alive, but we're going to give him an offensive lineman to make sure those hits don't happen. Now, pick 7, the Cardinals are happy. They are beyond happy that Will Johnson is still on the board. Give them Will Johnson, probably the best cornerback in the college football right now. Pick 8, the Vikings. Dude, the Vikings need a lot. They need some defense. They need a lot, honestly. They do need a lot. And I'm going to go back-to-back corners here. I'm going to go Benjamin Morrison They need a cornerback, man. They need a cornerback. Ever since Xavier Rhodes just fell off a cliff, they have not had a good shutdown cornerback. So hopefully Benjamin Morrison is that guy for them. They're definitely upset that Will Johnson is not on the board anymore, but you know, Benjamin Morrison, not bad. Pick 9. I mean, good God, the Raiders need. I mean, the Raiders just drafted Brock Bowers, and they don't even have a quarterback. They have Minshew Mania as their quarterback. So if they don't trade for a quarterback or anything like that, and they have to draft one, I think they're okay with Carson Beck. I think they're okay with Carson Beck here. I mean, they've got Devontae Adams. They've got Brock Bowers. They've got some weapons for him. He doesn't need to do anything crazy, anything flashy. And I doubt Carson Beck is one of those guys that's gonna, you know, get a DUI. Actually, I don't know. He's from Georgia, so there's a strong possibility. But reuniting him and Brock Bowers could be, that could be something in Las Vegas. Honestly, I'd be there for it. The Seahawks at pick 10. I mean, honestly, they could go a lot of different ways here. I think they're just gonna shore up the defensive line. They're gonna go Deion Walker. He's the 5th best available player on this board, and he fell to 10. So I think they're fine with that. And my Saints, okay. What would I do here? We do need a quarterback, but maybe we don't, because we literally just got Spencer Rattler. So maybe we don't need a quarterback. This could be a reach to go with Colston Loveland. I mean, Travis Hunter's on the board. Do I want to go Travis Hunter? Lutheran and Burden. He really doesn't move me, if I'm going to be honest. He just doesn't move me. I wouldn't draft him this high. Travis Hunter, who knows how that's going to work who knows how he's going to work in the NFL? Two-way player. That would be crazy if he continues to do that in the NFL, but who knows? I'm going to go with Abdul Carter. He did move to edge, so it says he's a linebacker. The Saints need edge, like, severely. They need help there. So Abdul Carter, I got him at pick 11. Penciled him in. We need help on defense. We need help everywhere, honestly, but I think that's a good value at pick 11. And the Buccaneers, you know, Mike Evans isn't getting any younger. Let's go Luther. Let's go Luther for Tampa Bay. The Colts are on the clock, and honestly, I'm not going to do it. I kind of want to give him Travis Hunter. I kind of want to do it, and you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to give him Travis Hunter. Mostly to play cornerback. If he plays two ways, that's great. But he is a solid cornerback, and he is going to fall to the Colts at 13. Maybe could the Buccaneers have picked Travis Hunter? Probably. They could have picked them probably, but he's going to fall to the Colts here. At pick 14, who knows what the Steelers are going to, like, who knows what position the Steelers are going to be in at this point next year? I mean, they have 2 quarterbacks on the roster. Who knows who's going to start? But if they do keep Justin Fields, they need some weapons. They have George Pickens. They traded Deontay Johnson. Let's go with McMillan here. Ranked 9 overall. He's going to fall to 14, which is going to leave the Rams here at pick 15. The Rams are planning for the future here, and they are going to draft Quinn Ewers. Who knows how long Matthew Stafford has in this league, so why not pull a Jordan Love 2.0? Go get your backup quarterback and let him sit behind your starter for at least a year or maybe even 2. I think that'd be perfect for Quinn, and I got him going in the Rams. Jacksonville, we're going to go with, let's see. Jacksonville, we're going to go with Malachi Starks here. I think that's good value for him at pick 16. He's a stud, absolute dog. Cleveland, who knows what they're going to be in, what position they're going to be in with Deshaun Watson. Like, literally, who knows? But, you know, none of us know. That's the point. None of us know. I don't know what's going to happen in this mock draft. I don't know what's going to happen. There could be another Jaden Daniels for all I know. I mean, Jaden Daniels at the start of last year was a projected 4th round pick. A 4th round pick. And he jumped up to 2nd overall. So, who knows? This mock, the players on this board are going to look so different heading into next draft season. But that's the point of this, I guess. You know, Cleveland Browns, Nick Chubb, who knows if he's still going to be a guy. I mean, his leg just snapped in half last year. So let's give them running back 1, Ollie Gordon, out of Oklahoma State. That man's a stud. He's a freak, and he is going to take over what Nick Chubb did. And if Nick Chubb is back, that's fine. I doubt his workload is going to be the same, so they're going to need another halfback. Chicago at pick 18. I think they're just going to go edge here. They're going to go Nick Skurton. I haven't heard of him before either. So Nick Skorton, edge out of Purdue. Perfect. Chargers at pick 19. They are ecstatic that Colston Loveland is on the board here still. Tight end 1. They're going to get their tight end of the future. Justin Herbert loves his tight ends. He was throwing to Gerald Everett all of like last year and the year before, and he's okay, but he's no stud like Colston Loveland. The Houston Texans at pick 20. I think honestly, they go back to the Ohio State Buckeyes. I think they go with Jack Sawyer, opposite of Will Anderson, who says no. Now the Jets here at pick 21. Oh, this is where things get spicy. I'm giving them Jalen Milroe. I'm giving them Jalen Milroe to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. Is that cinema or not? That sounds cinema to me. Jalen Milroe sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for a year or two, maybe a year. Learns Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it worked out for Jordan Love. It worked out for Jordan Love. Now, can you imagine someone who is way more physically gifted in Jalen Milroe and letting him observe and just soak in all the knowledge from Aaron Rodgers? They just drafted Jordan Travis, but honestly, who cares, bro? That was like round 5. Falcons here, honestly, they might draft another 27-year-old quarterback, but none are on the board, so they are upset. Instead, they're going to go with Kevin Winston Jr. Now, I do have Jesse Bates, but I mean, if they want to use another safety, Kevin Winston's right there. Pick 23, the Dolphins are on the board, and can you imagine? Let's see Raheem Mostert gets hurt, or Raheem Mostert he's getting old, right? He's getting up there, and he's no longer able to go. Let's give him Quinshon Judkins. I honestly think he's better than Ollie Gordon, but just for the sake of this mock, I had Ollie Gordon going first to the Browns, but Quinshon Judkins, he can boost his draft stock now that he's at Ohio State. I don't know what PFF is smoking, but he's not at Ole Miss anymore. He is at Ohio State. The Packers, they're going to need, speaking of Ohio State, they're going to need a wide receiver. Jordan Love, I mean, he's got Christian Watson, mid. Let's give Jordan Love Evan Stewart. Let's give Jordan Love a weapon. Let's give him a guy. And former 5-star Evan Stewart. Cowboys, I mean, they don't need cornerback. They might go edge here. Yeah, they're going to go edge here, and they're going to scoop up JT. Another Ohio State Buckeye, just like Quinshon Judkins. Eagles here, I mean, they just double-dipped in cornerbacks this year, so they should be chilling on those. There's a lot of, this is a cornerback-heavy draft. But they're going to go get a tackle. They're going to go get Jonah Saliba. Jonah Saliba, they're going to get him, leaving the Detroit Lions on the board. And I think they're going to go get they just drafted Terrion Arnold in the first round. But why not get another one? Why not get another cornerback in Jabbar Muhammad? And this leaves the Bengals in an interesting situation. I doubt maybe T. Higgins is not here any longer at this point when the 2025 draft comes around. So let's keep Emeka Egbuka in state. Let's keep him in Ohio. But I think he's a little maybe mid. Do I think he's a little, I don't know, not really that. I think he's good, but with Joey B, he's not going to be the wide receiver one that he's supposed to be, right? Like, he's going to be a good wide receiver too, I think. So behind next to Jamar Chase, I think that's a perfect fit for him. For some reason, the Bills are all the way, like, I don't think the Bills are going to be picking 29 next year, but if they do, they probably need another wide receiver. And let's go give Josh Allen Trey Harris. Let's go get him a wide receiver, man. They just drafted one in the first round, or in the start of the second round of Keon Coleman. Let's get him another one, man. Trey Harris. Okay, this leaves the Ravens with pick 30. And yes, they did just you know, pick up Derrick Henry in free agency. But let's give, like, their running backs drop like flies. So let's get him a running back. Let's get him a serious running back here. And a Marion Hampton. And our last two picks, the San Francisco 49ers, they are going to get themselves another edge rusher. I mean, their D-line is already insane. Want to add another body in there with pick 31. And in pick 32, my God, I mean, what could the Kansas City Chiefs even need at this point? I mean, I think they go with the man who slipped and fell on the board the most. Cario Davis. Bang. So this is what the mock is looking. We got Will Campbell first overall. James Pierce going second. Shador going 3. It's kind of crazy. Harold Perkins 4. 2 LSU boys at the top in the top 4. Am I biased? Probably. I'm probably very biased, but I like how this mock came out. I mean, we'll never know. I mean, we'll know next year. We'll know literally in a year's time if I cooked or not. But in the meantime, check out this video right here where I reacted to TikTok's NFL hot takes. There were some crazy ones. If you thought this video was crazy, bro, check out this one.